let's talk about how you can be the most effective and get them in training. Take your people and get them operational as fast as possible, where they not only know the new skill, but either know how to do it or they know how to sell it. See, all of these things when you're training, it's something either academic, you're either going to learn it, or like a language, a skill, a fundamental, you're gonna have to go through that, or it's going to be something that you sell. You got to learn how to sell it, and before you learn how to sell it, you got to understand it. You got to understand the process thoroughly, be able to answer all the questions. So usually training involves one of these two arenas. Now, these are going to be the same if, regardless of, pretty much it lines up if it's something you're doing academically. When I started this thing, I didn't realize I was going to be putting my spelling ability on display so much. So, there's something you got to learn. A new field of study, a new thing, and you want to get competent to where you can talk about it, you can understand it, you can deal in that arena. So it could be an academic subject, like you're going to school, you're getting a degree in something, and the whole deal is after you learn the subject that you can actually use it in your daily life. Or it could be a physical skill, something physical, that ability you develop. Say, let's just say you're going to learn how to swim, you're going to play golf, you're going to play tennis, something along those lines. You're going to learn how to ski. Since I'm out in Aspen right now, let's think about skiing. As soon as I get through with this video, I can get out on the slope. Hopefully that's going to happen. Also, obviously it's in the arena of sales, where you've got to sell something. You've got to know how it works. You've got to believe in it. You've got to know the intricacies. And let's just say it's, even if it's computers, you're going to learn computers, a technical thing. How you can do computers, or even if you're going to learn how to be a teacher. You're going to learn how to teach other people. See, all of these things, nobody's born knowing how to do these things. These are things you learn how to do. So what's the fastest way to get people through these steps where they can be functioning on their own? Well, it works pretty much, the best way works like this. If the starting point would be, let's go over here, I'll keep myself entertained. First step, first phase. Number one, you've got to get it yourself. You've got to look at it you've got to experience it. You've got to do it. If it's a sport, you've got to get, if it's swimming, you got to get in the water. You got to do it. You got to swing a golf club. You got to get familiar with it. This is what it feels like to do it. This is what the experience is. You got to get yourself familiar with that if it's a physical skill. If it's something that you buy or that you're going to be selling, you've got to approach it. You've got to go through and be the client. You got to let someone try and sell that to you, make a sales presence. You got to experience the sales presentation yourself as a client, a prospective client. Have someone present it to you. So if it's physical, you got to do it. You got to get in the water. You got to swing the club. You got to do it. You got to get involved. You got to see what it's like. If it's something that you're going to be selling, you got to let yourself be sold. You got to say, up here, it's like, do I enjoy this? Is this fun? Now down here, is this something that I believe in? If I don't believe in it, if I ask a bunch of questions and I think it's phony, I'm never going to do it. Does this pass my test? Something that I believe in it. I can get behind it. I can get excited about it. In both of these things, it's can I get excited about pursuing this thing? Folks, don't train people who have no interest in learning. And the first thing of getting people to learn something is get their on button going, and that is inside, get it to where they want to learn. People who learn are people who want to learn. Well, if it's a physical skill, get in the water, swing the club, experience it. Basketball, bounce the ball, go out in the basketball court, throw it in there and say, hey, this could be fun. Let's go skiing, take a lesson. But then, if it's something you want to buy, clothing or financial product, or anything like that. You get in there and let people make the presentation to you, and you objectively listen to it, ask all your tough questions, and get past the point where you say, I'm excited about this. I believe in this. This is fun. I'm glad I'm doing it. You got to get them to the point where they're glad to be spending the time on this. They think it's worthwhile. If you don't get past that, they're going to be sleeping in your class, folks. You got to give them reasons. And see, this gives them reasons. They experience themselves, or when you're doing the presentation, you're giving them reasons. And if you can't give them, see, in the beginning, they have 2% interest. The thing is, can you get the other 98% by either letting them try it or see the presentation and ask the questions, take a look at it. It's basically try it or take a look at it. All they need is 2% interest to get started with, and after you show it to them or let them experience it, that's where if that other 98% comes in, they say, I'm in, I like this, I'm excited, this is worthwhile, I want to spend some time on it. Now you're ready to move on to stage 2. Now in stage 2, what is stage 2? In stage 2, if they're going to learn how to master this, what they need to do is they need to watch others either doing it, if it's sport. Go watch and see how people who do it themselves, watch how they go about it, or and then see, watch and learn by watching others do it, or watch others, somebody who's in sales, watch them sell, watch them make a presentation. See, what we call this is the observe stage. This is the do it stage. This is the observe. Before you jump in, you're getting the lay of the land. You're seeing how it works. You're getting this, you're giving your mind and yourself a chance to get familiar with how this situation, this arena, this skill, this product works by seeing how others do it, how others react to it, and especially if they're being trained to do it by another trainer, or they are being seen, a presentation from somebody who's trying to sell it to you. So you go through this is where it's all about you and what you think about it. Now you get a chance to observe and see what others think about it. And that kind of reinforces your thing. Because if you got excited about it, you like it, and then you're seeing other people get exposed to it, and they like it, they're excited about it, you kind of feel vindicated. You feel it cements you in. It brings you another step in your belief level, your understanding level, and takes it to where you're a little bit more familiar. So now you're growing. This is starting to become more of a part of you. So now let's move over to stage 3. And I got to hurry because I'm running out of time. And let's go over here in step 3. What you do in step 3 is you start doing it yourself. You've got trained, you've seen others, you either do it, or if it's a sport, or you wind up making the sale presentation. You start telling other people about it. You're doing the show and tell now. You're not watching somebody doing the show and tell, or watching someone jumping in and skiing and playing tennis and swimming. You're in the water now. You've got the presentation. You're doing the talking. You're involved. You get the experience. You know what this is? You're going solo. You have to experience going solo and get those first successes and build that confidence, because there's another level of things you'll only learn when you get out there yourself. It's like jumping out of the plane without a parachute. Until you're actually jumping and doing it yourself, there's certain things you're never going to learn. Now the 4th step, and again hurrying, and this is the step that you're working like crazy to get to. This is where the magic happens. This is where you really accelerate the training, and that is when you train others. And it heard teacher learning situation. Who learns the most? The teacher. When you train others, And I don't care if it, think about how they train teachers. Don't they put them in classroom? They get to observe as, teacher's aide, and they put them in the classroom. And then if you're going to become a master, you get to where you got your own teacher's aide, and you're training them, and you're explaining things to them. Same thing with all sports. This is the fastest way to train, and I hope that gives you some ideas to work with. Folks, move away from your classroom training. People don't get anything there. This is where they're getting involved in it. Their experiences becoming a part of them. They not only know the facts about it, they know how it works. They've seen it work with themselves and other people. They know how to explain it. And the more they explain it, the deeper they understand the subject. So focus on the-job training, live training, in the field, interactive, with people, doing it yourself. 4 steps. Move people through, and you'll see you not only have people that know it, but they learned it fast, and they're good. That's my best advice on the smartest, best way to train.